I've always been a seeker. I think even my earliest memories as a child were, I had questions about truth. And I was very frustrated really through my education and so on because nobody really seemed to be interested in the things that I was interested in. It seemed to me that all education and learning had to be predicated on the premise that what we were really seeking is happiness, and so that everything that we should be seeking had to fit into that aura of happiness. And I was very, very disappointed through elementary and high school, and even the 1 year of college I did at Stanford was equally disappointing to me because people were intelligent, but with all due respect, they weren't wise. And so as I said, I did 1 year of college, and then I gave up. And just after I dropped out of school, I was very, very fortunate to become involved with a group of people who were studying the teachings of Swami Vivekananda, who's a very marvelous spiritual sage. And this was the middle of the 1960s, so all of these subjects of meditation and yoga and so on were really just beginning to come onto the American scene. And so for a few years, I studied books, but I was in a state of extreme frustration still, because now I had principles, but I felt so hopeless that my life was still just going along just like it ever had. I had a nice relationship, I had a job, I had a pleasant place to live, but I just couldn't imagine a life that was just going to go on like that. And right into the middle of that, it was like almost Thanksgiving time, 1969, Swami Kriyananda, who's an American man but a follower of an Indian guru, Paramhansa Yogananda, who wrote Autobiography of a Yogi. Swami Kriyananda came to speak at Stanford University, as it happened, and I went over to hear him speak. And as soon as I met him, he communicated by his consciousness, even before he spoke, that he had understood how to take these high ideals and turn them into an actual way of life. And more than that, he was building a community where people like me could go and study and could live and have home, job, and church in one place, is what I learned later was the ideal of it. And all based on the practice of meditation, the teachings of self-realization. And it just wasn't very long. I was 22 years old when I met Swami Kriyananda. And just before I turned 24, I was living in that community, which was now more than 40 years ago. And I've never looked back. It's just been for me exactly what I wanted, which is a very practical life in which I don't have to be strange in any way, and yet with high principles at the center and the ability to live for God, live in service to others, and find the happiness that I've always wanted ever since I was a child.